Integration, the hidden driver of ESG success in commercial real estate. This industry voice is from Shane Taker, the director at OTI, Operational Technology Integrators, a North American master systems integrator specializing in connecting building technologies across HVAC, lighting, metering, and energy management. Shane works with commercial real estate owners and operators to develop integration strategies that deliver measurable carbon reductions, cost savings, and verifiable ESG performance. Climate and the environment now sit at the heart of ESG strategy. But for commercial real estate owners, the conversation is shifting from goals to accountability. Cities like New York and Boston are tightening building-level emissions requirements through Local Law 97 and BERDO. Federal and investor-led reporting frameworks are following suit, demanding asset-level, auditable data that proves performance, not promises. Yet despite this momentum, many portfolios still lack the systems needed to produce accurate, verifiable data. Even the most sustainability-minded organizations are discovering that their ESG ambitions are being held back by a simple but critical blind spot: how their buildings actually operate. ESG failures rarely start in the boardroom. They start in the boiler room, or the electrical closet, or the building management server tucked behind a ceiling tile. Most buildings, even those equipped with advanced controls, still run on a patchwork of siloed systems. HVAC, lighting, and metering all function independently, producing incomplete, inconsistent, and often incompatible data. Reporting teams then spend weeks chasing exports and spreadsheets to assemble performance reports that don't reflect reality. That fragmentation isn't just inefficient, it's expensive. When systems don't talk to each other, they can't make informed decisions about how to manage energy use. Heating and cooling systems end up running simultaneously. Occupancy sensors trigger lighting schedules that ignore HVAC logic, and the smart building becomes a surprisingly inefficient one. In one OTI portfolio assessment, over 60% of building data was found unusable due to duplication or inconsistent formatting. Without clean, connected data, even the best ESG strategy collapses at the execution level. The foundation of decarbonization capacity. At OTI, we use the term decarbonization capacity to describe a building's ability to actively reduce emissions, verify performance, and generate defensible data at the asset level. It's not about targets on paper. It's about what the systems inside the building can actually do. Integration is what builds that capacity. By connecting HVAC, metering, indoor air quality, IAQ, and lighting into a single, cohesive data environment, operators gain real-time insight into how energy is used and where it's wasted. More importantly, systems can finally coordinate cooling, heating, and ventilating intelligently instead of blindly following static set points. At our own headquarters in Pleasant Hill, California, integration alone resolved a long-standing efficiency problem. Previously, heating and cooling often ran against each other, leaving some zones freezing while others overheated. By unifying data and layering in an AI-enabled control system, we eliminated that conflict entirely. Temperatures stabilized between 70 to 74 degrees forward, comfort complaints dropped, and energy waste fell sharply. We've seen energy savings of 20% or more through integration alone, with one recent project guaranteed at 40%, in a building that already had a modern automation system. These are measurable, verifiable results that strengthen both ESG performance and emissions reduction goals. Building compliance with existing systems. One of the biggest misconceptions around ESG compliance is that it requires deep retrofits or new capital equipment in connecting what's already in place. Layering new intelligence over existing infrastructure avoids the cost and disruption of full replacement. Middleware platforms and open protocols like BACnet IP or Haystack allow legacy systems to communicate in a common language. Once that data is normalized, building teams can measure true consumption patterns, track emissions at the asset level, and verify improvements in real time. For universities, healthcare networks, and public sector campuses, this approach is particularly valuable. These environments often have mixed-age buildings and limited downtime for retrofit work. Integration enables meaningful, measurable progress toward compliance, using systems they already own. In one higher education project, integration across 30 campus buildings cut manual reporting time by 75%. and identified more than $500,000 in low-cost efficiency opportunities, all without a single equipment replacement. For new developments, the opportunity is even greater. Integration shouldn't be an afterthought. It should be embedded from design through commissioning. Too often, developers specify advanced systems without ensuring they can talk to one another. The result is a smart building that ships with disconnected systems and a fragmented data backbone. A unified integration strategy, built around open communication protocols and centralized data management, prevents those silos before they form. Integration doesn't just strengthen compliance, it transforms operations. Most buildings still run on a reactive maintenance model, where equipment is fixed only after it fails. Without unified data, it's nearly impossible to predict problems before they happen. Integrated systems, continuous monitoring, and predictive alerts, detecting leaks, airflow anomalies, or abnormal loads long before they affect tenants or energy performance. This shift from reactive to proactive maintenance can reduce unplanned repairs by 25 to 30%, while extending equipment life and stabilizing energy use. It also helps align incentives between owners and tenants. When both parties can see transparent data on consumption and efficiency, energy savings become a shared priority rather than a hidden cost. Integration is often viewed as a capital expense, but it's actually a compliance and performance multiplier. By unifying building systems, owners can avoid regulatory penalties, qualify for green financing, and improve ESG ratings with verifiable performance data. For investors, continuous data streams create transparency and trust. For operators, integration cuts operating expenses and gives them real-time control over energy consumption and emissions. At portfolio scale, these benefits compound. The same system logic that stabilizes comfort in one building can reduce overall emissions across dozens. Integration makes ESG measurable, repeatable, and defensible. The next wave of ESG regulation is coming fast, but the tools to meet it already exist. They just aren't connected. The most affordable path to compliance isn't waiting for new funding or launching massive retrofit programs. It's integrating what's already there, connecting systems, normalizing data, and creating a foundation for continuous verifiable improvement. Buildings that integrate today will be the ones that stay compliant tomorrow. And as those systems work together, ESG goals stop being theoretical. They become operational.